This lecture is This lecture is organized by the Center for World Affairs, that is a part of Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. And here we, among other activities that we wish to expand this particular wing into, organize lectures where eminent scholars and researchers like you, sir, are given a platform to speak on matters of international relevance and importance. Uh, One such matter that we are going to discuss here today is the security dynamics of Quad in the Indo-Pacific region. So before requesting you to commence the lecture, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir and Registrar sir for extending their continued support and for giving us wing the freedom to operate and function smoothly. And for the attendees, Dr. Chakali Bramhayya is the assistant professor at the Department of Political Science and Human Rights, Indira Gandhi National Tribal University. Bramhayya sir has completed his MPhil and PhD from the School of International Studies, JNU. And his specialization lies in the field of global politics, Indian foreign policy, human rights, among other fields. So one small notice is after you are done delivering a lecture, we shall have a window that will be open for 10 to 15 minutes where attendees and participants can ask their questions and can direct those questions to you. And once that particular segment is done, we could wrap up the lecture, sir. So over to you, sir. And once again, thank you for coming here and agreeing to deliver this lecture.
Thank you, Pranav, for giving brief introduction about me and lecture. So, very good evening to all of you. Esteemed Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor KVS Sharma sir, and Dr. Ashok Vandeji, Registrar in charge, and also Faculty Coordinator, Dr. Vinay Kumar, and also student coordinators, Pranav, Ashwin, and Ketan. And I would like to thank Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad, and Center for World Affairs for giving me an opportunity to deliver lecture on this topic titled The Dynamics of Quadrilateral Security Dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region. So once again, so good evening to all of you. I will share the PPT. You are able to see PPT, right?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
It is visible, right? Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So today our topic is the significance of quadrilateral security dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region. So as all of you know that it is occupied much significance in the contemporary global world. I will be explaining objectives of my lecture to critically examine the latest trends and dynamics of the quadrilateral security dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region, and also to explain the role of Quad. Okay, the quadrilateral security dialogue is also called as Quad. So what is the role of Quad to contain the belligerence or aggressive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region? And also to critically elucidate the role of quadrilateral security dialogue in the military balance of Indo-Pacific region. Like it means how these quadrilateral countries, how they are balancing military scenario in the Indo-Pacific region. And also to analyze what are the perspectives of Russia and China on the quadrilateral security dialogue. And finally, what is the future of quadrilateral security dialogue? So these are my 5 objectives. So accordingly, I will be delivering my lecture. Okay. So as all of you know that the quadrilateral security dialogue, so it has been playing very predominant role in the contemporary global world. And also this quadrilateral security dialogue is also known as Quad. And the member countries are the United States, India, Australia, and Japan. So these 4 countries are members of the quadrilateral security dialogue. And it came into existence in the year 2007. And also the resurgence of the Quad or quadrilateral security dialogue took place again in 2012. with the return of Shinzo Abe as Prime Minister of Japan. Why? Because Japan has various interests in the Indo-Pacific region. So in order to contain the aggressive behavior of China, it is very much required to have quadrilateral security dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region, and also to contain the aggressive behavior of China in the rich resource South China Sea. So all of you are well acquainted with these developments also, and we'll be discussing in detail also. Okay, and also these all Quad members they have decided to contain so the belligerent behavior of China or the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. So we can say that is the main objective of this quadrilateral security dialogue and also Quad countries. Okay, and also they want to establish very free and democratic environment in the Indo-Pacific region. And these are the you can see the map. Okay, so the world map you can see the so India is here and also Japan and Australia.
So sorry to interrupt, but I think the slides are not moving. You'll have to
Slides are
change
not
the slides as you go.
yeah, yeah. Wait
Yes,
for
sir.
one. I think 1 second. It will take I think 1 second to come another site. No, it came now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's there on
Yes,
the
yes.
screen now. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So sometime it is taking a little 1 second I think to display this slide. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. And these are the four countries, you know that India, Australia, Japan, and the US. And you can see on the world map also, and India is here, and Japan, and Australia, and the US. And you see the and middle of that this South China Sea is there, okay, South China Sea, and also this Indo-Pacific region. So why these all four countries they are interested in a quadrilateral security dialogue? That too with a special reference to Indo-Pacific region. So why they have to constitute any kind of security dialogue? Okay, so even though they are officially not describing it as a military alliance, so what are the interests of these four countries in the Indo-Pacific region? Okay, so why these four countries they have to contain the assertive or the belligerent behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region and also South China Sea? So what are the reasons for that? So okay, so what are the rationale behind that? So these all factors will be critically examining. Okay, and you see the Indo-Pacific region, and you can see that. Okay, so this, for example, you see that these all countries it will they constitute Indo-Pacific region. In fact, United States of America also they are extensively doing research on Indo-Pacific region, and also they have established one East-West Center also to carry out research, so particularly on Indo-Pacific region. So okay, so why USA is having interest on Indo-Pacific region? Okay, so it is very keenly participating in this quadrilateral security dialogue. So what are the reasons behind that? So you can see that. Okay, and also this is like Indo-Pacific region. Since all of you are in Center for World Affairs, so already you are well acquainted with these all developments also. And you see this all, for example, the Indo-Pacific countries are the Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, and all these countries are there. So Vietnam, Philippines, and all. Okay, but since China is climbing, so even their islands has their legitimized territory, and these all Indo-Pacific countries also they are raising a voice. But in fact, they need someone so to advocate or to showcase, also to fight against the aggressive behavior of China. So that's why now these all four countries, India, USA, and Japan and Australia, so they are also helping these Indo-Pacific countries to also to help them to claim their interest, and also these countries also are having at a larger level these countries also having a different interest here. Okay, and you see that even during pandemic time also and virtual quadrilateral security dialogue took place of these all quad countries. Okay, you can see the photo. So the president of US Joe Biden, okay, and also the Japan president, and also Australia, our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So all these four leaders, even during pandemic time, they had a virtual summit and they extensively discussed various issues related to Indo-Pacific region on March 12th, 2021. Okay, and you can see here our all this quadrilateral security dialogue. So very frequently they are conducting military exercises in the Malabar region, even in Indo-Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, even in Bay of Bengal also. Like regularly they are conducting military exercises. And you can see how our Indian Army, so fighter jets on the deck of an aircraft carrier during the second phase of the Malabar naval exercises in the Arabian Sea. So it took place on November 18th, 2020. You can see that. Okay. And all these four countries, in fact, they have so participated in this so military exercises also. Like very frequently, in fact. So they are organizing these military exercises. So in order to send a very strong message, okay, to the China, even other countries, that is these four countries, they are very actively participating. Even they want to protect the interest of the Indo-Pacific countries, and also these four countries, they want to have their presence in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay. And you see the quad, okay, the confluence of four powers and two seas. You can see here, okay. You can see that our India and also Australia, Japan, and US. You can see here, and like as a part of a giant military exercises, and they are conducting regularly. As I told you, so to send a strong message to China that no longer so it can continue its aggressive behavior, or it cannot claim so there the China's legitimate authority and the territory belongs to Indo-Pacific countries. Okay,
Sir, sorry to disturb
and
you.
this,
Sir, sorry to disturb
yeah,
you, sir. We are unable to see the slides properly. Yes.
slides are not coming.
Yeah, yeah.
One
They are
second.
not moving. They're not moving.
So what you could do is you could change the slides in the Meet itself. If you do it in the PowerPoint presentation, maybe I mean, it's not reflecting in the Meet, sir. So you could change the slides in the Google Meet itself.
Directly in the Google Meet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Now the slide came, right? Now you are able to see that Indian military aircraft slide.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it is coming and it is taking bit a while. Okay, then slowly, accordingly, I will be going ahead. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
it is taking 1 second to shift to another slide. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So are you able to see the previous one? You have seen this slide. You see. So you have seen this slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now it is visible, sir. Earlier we were not able
Okay.
to
Okay.
see
Okay.
this.
Fine. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is a virtual quadrilateral security dialogue of quad leaders, okay, and it took place on March 12th, 2021. So even during pandemic time, also these all leaders they met, they extensively discussed various issues related to an Indo-Pacific region, okay. And this one, I told you that Indian Army fighter jets, and also they conducted giant military exercises in the Malabar Naval exercise. It is called Malabar Naval Exercises in the Arabian Sea on November 18th, 2020. Okay, in order to send a strong message to China to contain its aggressive behavior in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, so this slide you are able to see. This is important. Why? Because you are able to see this quad, the confluence of four powers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me whenever it is not being displayed, and I will wait for 1 second so that. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay. You see here the quadrilateral security dialogue, the confluence of four powers and two seas. You can understand, okay, and how they are like jointly conducting military exercises. So by seeing this picture, we can understand how these four countries they are unitedly and they are how jointly. So they are developing their strategy to contain the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay. So this slide you are seeing now.
Yeah.
Next slide. Okay. Yes, Quad 2 was revived on the 2007 ASEAN Summit to ensure development, peace, and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, and also these all countries like Japan, Australia, and also United States of America, they have been the part of this quadrilateral security dialogue. So whenever summit is taking place, all these four countries are very actively participating and discussing extra various contemporary global issues and also the issues with special reference to Indo-Pacific region. Okay. So as I told you previously, the main objective of quadrilateral security dialogue is to contain or counter the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region and also in the Himalayan region. Like previously also you have seen that how our Indian army also, how they have to deal with Chinese army in the case of Doklam standoff and also Galwan standoff, also in the Ladakh region. Okay, since China is like continuously increasing its aggressive behavior, whether it is borders, okay, even China is having the military conflicts with almost all neighboring countries, okay, so not only with India, so it is having conflict with Myanmar, and even it is claiming Taiwan also as part of its territory. There are many. In fact, it is having kind of very antagonistic and also aggressive behavior with even the neighboring countries also. Okay, so that's why these all countries they have decided how to stop very belligerent behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. So that is like main objective of these Quad countries. Okay, and also they are I told they have been conducting military exercises also in the Indo-Pacific region. So next slide you are seeing. So the significance of the Quad.
No, slide did not move.
Move, sir. Okay.
You can move the slide. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. It is taking a while to reflect that slide. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Under the significance of the Quad. So what is the significance of the quadrilateral security dialogue in the contemporary global world? So that is like very important one we have to analyze also. Okay. In the context of the intertwined and globalized economy, so quadrilateral security dialogue, it has been playing very predominant role in the contemporary multipolar world order. In fact, Maritime Affairs Journal also extensively they are working on the significance of quadrilateral security dialogue also. And also how it has been led to the convergence of interest between all Quad countries. And this quadrilateral security dialogue, so it has been extensively contributing to the non-military cooperation and also counter China's Belt Road Initiative, that is BRI, in the Indo-Pacific region. And also these countries, apart from that, these Quad countries, they are focusing on infrastructure development and trade among the Quad members also. Okay, so even they are on the one hand they are helping the Indo-Pacific countries, and also on the other hand they are developing cooperation among the Quad member countries. Okay, and the latest Quad summit, so it took place at United States. The slide is coming. Okay. Like US President Joe Biden has invited all Quad countries to United States. So this latest Quad summit took place on September 24th, 2021 at United States. Okay. At White House, all these Quad members they met. So in fact, they extensively discussed various issues related to quadrilateral security dialogue. So when this meeting is taking place, I think most of the global countries, so they are having special attention and focus on this and quadrilateral security dialogue. So how these all four countries they are meeting at United States and they are discussing. So this latest summit, it has occupied much prominence even in global politics also. Okay. And if you go through newspapers during that 1 2 weeks time, almost all newspapers and all television channels they are telecasting this news, and extensive coverage was given to quadrilateral security dialogue. In fact, it had attained much significance in the contemporary global politics also. Okay, and also they have discussed various issues related to how to combat COVID-19 and also how they can strengthen bilateral relations with special reference to defense cooperation or military cooperation and trade relations also, and how we can address the climate and issues also. Okay, and their main objective also, on one hand, to contain the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. On the other hand, so they want to promote a democratic and free Indo-Pacific region. So they want to establish democratic and free Indo-Pacific region. And also, in fact, so he also had Joe Biden, US president. In fact, he had hosted the virtual summit also. Previously, I told you that picture also I saw you. Okay. And at the time also, they have again emphasized on an inclusive, free, open, and democratic Indo-Pacific region. See, this line is very important. You see here, and they are strongly emphasizing on so inclusive. It has to be inclusive and free, open, and democratic Indo-Pacific region. Why? Because no country should claim the legitimate authority on Indo-Pacific region. Okay, so even though the Indo-Pacific regions they are there, but China it is claiming the land of Indo-Pacific countries also as its land. Okay, so the legitimate it is claiming legitimate authority, and also it has developed artificial island also in the Indo-Pacific region. So these all developments have taken place. So that's why these all quadrilateral countries. So they have taken like joint action or joint decision to prevent the assertive behavior of China. Okay, and also they have condemned. So repeatedly they have condemned many times the assertive and aggressive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region, including even the resource and the rich South China Sea. So relate to this, I will show you some pictures, some diagrams also. So then you can understand and very nicely also. And present contemporary US administration and Biden and Harris administration also has given top priority to elevate the quadrilateral security dialogue. So previously also Donald Trump also has given much importance to this quadrilateral security dialogue. Even present US administration also, so they have given much priority to quadrilateral security dialogue. Okay, and also they have been actively engaging with various multilateral configurations to deal with the various challenges of the 21st century. Okay, I told you how China is claiming its legitimate authority on the land or the territory which belongs to Indo-Pacific countries. And you see here, China has claimed so nearly 1.3 million square miles of the South China Sea, so belong to its sovereign territory. Okay, and simultaneously, so the countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Taiwan, Brunei, and Philippines also claiming these islands. Okay, so originally this land belongs to these countries, but China is claiming so as it is a legitimate authority or legitimate territory also. So this is like a controversial issue, and it is kind of a bone of contention even for other countries also. So it has become a major controversial issue. And these all developments have forced the Quad member countries to revive the quadrilateral security dialogue, to develop an innovative strategy so to protect the sea routes from the influence of external factors or external agencies in the Indo-Pacific region. So now you might have understand. So why this quadrilateral security dialogue has occupied much significance in the contemporary global world. So when China is claiming its authority on the land or the territory which belongs to these countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Taiwan, Brunei, and the Philippines, okay. So even all these Quad members, this quadrilateral security dialogue member countries, so they have been strongly advocating that China should not claim these lands, the land which belong to these Indo-Pacific countries, okay. And also that I told you also it has took place on the invitation of US President Joe Biden, and they have also clarified that it is not a kind of any military alliance. So time and again they have many times even from India, Australia, and all these countries also they have clarified. So quadrilateral security dialogue, it's not a military alliance. They have clarified also. And recently also when US Defense Secretary so visited India also, he also clarified it is not a military alliance. So they have stated it is an informal gathering. So it is not a neither security nor military partnership. Okay. So that's why they have decided. So what is their main objective? So they have main objective is to deal with the scenario, the geopolitical scenario which is prevailing in the Indo-Pacific region. So like Sri Ram Lakshman in a Hindu newspaper also extensively, so they have written articles on this one, okay. And these Quad countries also, they have decided to supply 1 billion manufactured COVID-19 vaccines to these Indo-Pacific countries by the end of 2022. And you see, these all countries, okay, they want to contain the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. And apart from, they want to help the Indo-Pacific countries also, like the Southeast Asian countries. So they are also extending so a lot of cooperation and help to these countries also. Okay, and also they have announced supply chain initiatives to identify the vulnerabilities and issues in the Indo-Pacific region. So what are the problems are existing? So they are addressing so there's these issues also. Even our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also extensively discussed this issue and with the CEO of Qualcomm and chip manufacturer also. So even when our Prime Minister went to US, so the top US 5 companies, so they also extensively discussed with our Indian Prime Minister. Even they are willing to come India, and they are willing to invest in India also. Okay, and the time you might have seen in the newspaper also, and this all so developments have taken place. And also they have countries they have decided to develop 5G technology network to provide alternative networks and also reduce the dependency of Indo-Pacific countries on China. So they want to facilitate these countries so that so they can reduce their dependence on China. Okay, and also they will be providing fellowship to 100 students as part of this quadrilateral security dialogue. So 25 students will be selected from each country, and once they are selected, they will get an opportunity to pursue their so post graduation and also doctoral studies in the United States of America. And also they have decided to share the information related to the illegal fishing and also space maritime domain. Okay, and also how to deal with cyber security threats also. So these all decisions they have this all it has been extensively discussed in the recent meeting at United States of America. And also India and the USA also witnessed and experienced cyber threats from Chinese companies. Okay, and recently also you might have observed that even the particular Chinese companies, so they are in fact targeting the bureaucrats of US administration also. So whenever they are starting their systems, and I think it is affecting their brains, and something it is happening to even their brains, and something is so they are these issues also they are discussing. Okay, and this that how it has evolved and all. So how it came into existence are, for example, in the 2004, in order to deal with this tsunami scenario and earthquake situation in the Indian Ocean. So that was the main reason how these all countries so came together and also established this quadrilateral security dialogue. India, Australia, United States, and also they have extended their support and relief to the displaced and injured people in the Indian Ocean. Okay, and gradually these all 4 countries so they have resulted in the form of quadrilateral security dialogue. So that was the background of the Indo-Pacific and the quadrilateral security dialogue. Okay, you know that all regularly these countries are these all quadrilateral security countries, they are meeting, they are conducting military exercises also, as I told you again and again. So the main objective of these quad countries to prevent or to contain the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. That was the main objective. Okay, even former US President Donald Trump and also his administration, so they have given opinion about Quad. So Quad as a useful means of countering China's rise in Asia. Okay, so that was the even main the perspective of US administration also. And also Quad has adopted various measures to ensure Indo-Pacific region is free and open Indo-Pacific. And I told you previously also. So that's why presently also it has become one of the key aspects of the Joe Biden's administration's regional strategy to deal with China very firmly in the Indo-Pacific and also South China Sea region. Okay. So in this connection, in fact, Carnegie Endowment for International Peace and all, so many scholars also they are extensively working on quadrilateral security dialogue and its implications for global politics and also Asia and also Indo-Pacific region. Okay, and you see here, so the minister level meeting, so that is taking place. Okay, I think you are seeing this PPT, right? Okay, fine. So this minister level meeting demonstrates a shared commitment of respective leadership to institutionalize the gathering, like all these Indo-Pacific partners. You can see this photo. It will send a very strong message at a global level. You can see our Indian External Affairs Minister, Sri Jaishankar ji also, and so all countries they are representing. So it is our minister level meeting. So that in fact I told so frequently they are meeting, they are discussing various issues related to Indo-Pacific region. So that is a very important, and dynamic developments are taking place in this regard. And see here also, and US President Joe Biden, so he's like virtual, it was a virtual meeting, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, and also they have participated. So you can understand by seeing these pictures, so how important it is, okay, and why these all countries, so they very actively they are participating in this quadrilateral security dialogue. So you can understand the significance of quadrilateral security dialogue in the contemporary global world. And also this Quad summit at Washington DC. So what kind of developments have taken place? So all these the leaders of all 4 countries, they have participated in this quadrilateral security dialogue at the invitation of US President. And also our Indian Prime Minister also stated that so Quad countries would be acting as a force for global world, and also to ensure prosperity and peace in the Indo-Pacific region as well as the entire world. So you can understand that Press Trust of India and also Indian Express newspapers, and also they have written articles on September 25th, 2021. You can see that one. And also these all countries, they have revised a long pending proposal of developing quadrilateral security dialogue as an innovative strategy and framework to keep the significant sea routes in the Indo-Pacific region, and also that should be free from the military presence of China. Press Trust of India, even Indian Express, so they have written that. So they want to ensure that Indo-Pacific region, it has to be free from military presence, okay, military presence of China. Why? Because so gradually China is increasing its military presence even in the South China Sea and also in Indo-Pacific region. And spring of pearls also in the form of that also China is expanding its militarization. I will also show you that pictures related to that one. So that's why these all countries, they are very actively discussing so how to develop a strategy to create a democratic atmosphere in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, you see that Quad summit, it took place at White House on September 24th. So it was very milestone in the history of quadrilateral security dialogue. You can see our Indian Prime Minister is here, and American President, and Australian Prime Minister, and Japanese Prime Minister is sitting here. You can see here. So in White House, it was like confined to only these all 4 countries, and extensively they have discussed. Okay, and by seeing this, you can understand so what kind of significance it has attained in the global politics. Okay, in fact, Russia is having a different perspective towards quadrilateral security dialogue. China is having a different perspective. When the summit is taking place, so China is like really giving different statements on quadrilateral security dialogue. Okay, so even some of the Chinese officials, they have termed quadrilateral security dialogue as a ASEAN NATO. Even Russian minister also, Sergei Lavrov also. So he had described quadrilateral security dialogue as ASEAN NATO. Why Russia is like influencing India? Why Russia is saying that why USA is influencing India? So to take active participation in quadrilateral security dialogue. In fact, many times India has reiterated, India has clarified that it is not a military alliance or military partnership. Okay, it is a kind of an informal gathering. So they want to assure that Indo-Pacific region should be free from Chinese assertive behavior. That is the main, so the reason or rationale behind this quadrilateral security dialogue. But the China and Russia, they have different perspectives, different versions towards quadrilateral security dialogue. And when Russia has termed it as an ASEAN NATO, quadrilateral security dialogue as in NATO, in fact, our External Affairs Ministry also clarified that so India would like to maintain its own strategic autonomy, so and we would like to have kind of like a strategy. We would like to maintain strategic balance towards both USA and Russia also. And why? Because previously India was heavily importing defense equipment to Russia, even during Soviet time, nearly 70 to 80% of defense equipments. And recently, India diversifying its arms import. Now it is importing from United States of America, Israel. You see that Rafale aircrafts from France. Like India also diversifying its arms import also. So that's why. So when Russia is giving statements, India has clarified those statements. Okay. So why? Because in the present, when China is like, you see whether it is the Doklam standoff or Galwan standoff or the military standoff at Ladakh, LAC or LOC, and after seeing this all development, so India has to modernize its military equipment. Okay, so otherwise, because India don't want to repeat like 1962 scenario. Now India is following very realistic foreign policy. You know, in our foreign policy, now India is having very realistic orientation in the Indian foreign policy. So no longer idealistic. Like all of you know that famous quotation of Hans J. Morgan to international politics nothing but struggle for power. So you have to be realistic in the global politics. So now our present Prime Minister also, they following the realistic approach towards foreign policy, and in order to deal with our even neighbors also. So when you see the Doklam stand up and also the Galwan, why Chinese military forces they retreated, you can understand. Okay, so that's why the nature of our Indian foreign policy also it has been shifted or transformed from non-alignment to multi-alignment, and India would like to maintain its strategic autonomy in the global politics. Okay, strategic autonomy and also national interest. These are very important. So that we have to take care of that one. Okay. So that's why when India is actively participating in quadrilateral security dialogue, so the countries are having different versions, but India has clarified time and again. And you see this one also in that quadrilateral security dialogue, our Prime Minister also delivering India's version of Indo-Pacific region. Okay, you can see it is a picture. Okay. And US and India's perspective on Quad. Now, what are the perspective of United States and quadrilateral security dialogue and on this quadrilateral security dialogue? You can understand, okay? And also when US President has invited this all leaders of all quadrilateral security dialogue, in fact, they have very actively they have participated in this meeting also. And apart from the issues related to Indo-Pacific region, I told you they discussed the issues related to vaccine deliverables and also COVID-19 and infrastructure and security scenario in the Indo-Pacific region. So generally people think that quadrilateral security dialogue only, so it is a military alliance. So their main objective is to contain the aggressive behavior of China in the to contain the aggressive behavior of China. So but altogether the scenario is so different. Okay. And apart from this this agenda, so they are also dealing with various issues related to healthcare, infrastructure, and also security scenario in the Indo-Pacific region. And you see that Joe Biden, he has given one statement. One statement, you please this one quote. And this group has democratic partners and who share world views and have a common vision for the future. You can understand. You please see this one. Once again, all of you read this statement. So it has a democratic partners and who share worldviews and have a common vision for the future. So like Joe Biden, now even our Indian newspaper also published this statement. And in this connection, our Prime Minister Modi ji also has given statement. Our participation in Quad will ensure and peace and prosperity in Indo-Pacific as well as the entire world. I firmly believe it would act as a force for the global world, and the Quad vaccine initiative will hold the Indo-Pacific nations together. And also when the world is fighting COVID-19, so all these Quad countries, so they have come together to save the humanity in the form of Quad. Okay. So you can understand the significance of these statements. Okay. So that Joe Biden is saying that, so we have democratic partners and we are having convergence interests. So that's why they're actively participating and in this quadrilateral security dialogue. So they have common interest, convergent interest also. And also our Indian Prime Minister also, so he has stated that, so quadrilateral security dialogue and it will act as a force for the global world. And apart from that, this COVID vaccine initiative also, it will help the Indo-Pacific nations and also enable them to overcome and out of this COVID-19. So you can understand that. So at the time of tsunami, all these countries, they came together. Even at the time of COVID pandemic also, so these countries that are extensively discussing, they want to help the Indo-Pacific countries. Okay. And also our Indian Prime Minister reiterated that, so Quad members will be working on democratic values and a positive approach. Okay. And global security, they have discussed various issues related to global security, COVID response, supply chain, and technology cooperation and climate action. Okay. And you see that Australia and Japan perspective. So I have explained that India's perspective on the United States of America And also you see that accordingly, the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison also has given statement related to Indo-Pacific region. So it has to be free from disputes and coercion, and issues should be resolved according to the rules and regulations of international law. And you see here, so rules and regulations of international law, that is very important. Okay, so you have to take care of that one, so that Indo-Pacific region has great challenges, and challenges have to be overcome. So these challenges have to be resolved also. Okay, and they have to overcome these challenges also, you can understand. And in 6 months from the last meeting, so much has been accomplished. We stand here together in the Indo-Pacific region. This is the statement of Scott Morrison and the Prime Minister of Australia. You can understand so how much significance it has attained in the global politics. Okay. So why? Because so we have to, even though they are actively participating in the Indo-Pacific region, but they are following the rules and regulations of international law. And you see the statement of Japanese Prime Minister. I hope we can hold a relevant summit. So Japanese Prime Minister, he has given that statement. Okay, and again this all 4 Quad members, they have reiterated that so Quad countries will ensure an open and accessible Indo-Pacific region, and also will identify measures to deal with the COVID-19 situation and address the global climate crisis. You see that how you see that all countries, they are having convergent interest related on Indo-Pacific region, and also they have announced that so they will be supplying the vaccines, and also 5G network deployment, and working on space. Jointly they will be working on space cooperation also. Okay, and what is the Quad strategy to contain China? So you know that the main objective of this Quad countries to contain the assertive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region and also South China Sea. Then what kind of strategy it has to be adopted in order to deal with the assertive behavior of China? And you see here, and China is claiming all disputed areas, islands of the Philippines and Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Brunei. And also these countries, and the contrary to that, and these all countries also claiming and authority on these disputed areas. And China also developed, artificial islands in the Indo-Pacific region. So that was the important development. 1 second. And that is so that is the kind of it is a issue in the Indo-Pacific region. So the land which belong to this Indo-Pacific region, so the China is claiming that is a kind of bone of contention in the Indo-Pacific region. And also Indian Prime Minister also made it counterparts in the Quad summit, and also this extensively discussed the significance of maritime security towards the free and open Indo-Pacific region. Why? Because maritime security, so it is very important. It has to be India also, it has to strengthen its maritime security in the Indo-Pacific region. So otherwise, China is like day by day, so increasing its presence in the South China Sea, Indo-Pacific region, and also South China Sea. Okay, I think you are seeing this picture. And you please see this picture, how China is claiming their authority here. You see, it is a South China Sea. Okay, so I think this a little bit. And see here, so this red line, so China is claiming so this entire territory in South China Sea. Okay, and Malaysia, you see that. So Malaysia, so it is claiming this much territory that it belongs to it. It's okay. Then Vietnam, and you see blue line, and you can see that blue line, and Vietnam also so claiming this much area belongs to Vietnam. And Brunei, you see that. So Brunei also, so it is claiming so this much territory like it belongs to Brunei. From here you can see that, so it belongs to Brunei. And the Philippines also, so you can see that, so the purple line is there, and you can see that one also. But even though, so the Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, Philippines, so they are claiming that this their territory belongs to them, but still you can see that China, how it is like claiming that from this yellow line, you can see that red line, how it is claiming. Okay, so this entire one, it belongs to China. China is claiming it's a legitimate authority. So on these islands of Pacific, Indo-Pacific countries, that was the kind of bone of contention. So you can understand why this all Quad countries. So they are raising their voice and also and strengthening quadrilateral security dialogue in the Indo-Pacific region. And once, okay. So are you able to see this PPT? This militarization of South China Sea?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is coming, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. You please see here this militarization of South China Sea. So it is establishing its presence.
It has to move.
It has to be moved, sir. 1 second, sir. Please. I think you got that. Okay. Yes. Okay. And you see that militarization of South China Sea, how it is like it is militarizing South China Sea. I will show one more. You are able to see this one, this entire region. So it is developing its military network also and establishments. So that's why the quadrilateral security dialogue. So they want to contain the belligerent behavior of China in the South China Sea also. And free and open Indo-Pacific region, you see that. So that already many times, in fact, so they have reiterated in summits also, they have been strongly advocating this one. And Indo-Pacific region, and it should be free and open Indo-Pacific region in the contemporary global world. So since China is increasing its military presence in the Indo-Pacific region, so not only in the Indo-Pacific region, even in South China Sea, the Quad countries have to design innovative strategies to combat with Chinese assertive and aggressive behavior in the Indo-Pacific region. Like China is claiming its authority on the islands belong to Indo-Pacific countries, and also on the other hand, like expanding its military base also, okay, and continuing their aggressive behavior. So how to contain this kind of aggressive behavior of China? So that is the main question here. And you see that US President, Indian Prime Minister, and Japanese Prime Minister, and also Australian PM. So they also, many times they have strongly advocated that. So they have to work together. So in order to create kind of democratic atmosphere in the Indo-Pacific region. And that's why they have strongly advocated that it has to be Indo-Pacific region. It has to be based on rule-based order, and it should be open, inclusive, and it has to be accessible to the even other countries also, those who want to establish kind of democratic atmosphere here. Okay, no country should claim their legitimate authority on Indo-Pacific region. So that is their argument also. Okay, so that's why they have stood for the values of freedom of navigation and peaceful resolution of disputes and territorial integrity of states and democratic values and the rule of law. They are saying that, so they are also advocating these all norms also. Okay, so that's why they have extended their support for the centrality and unity of ASEAN. In fact, the Quad members, they have extended their support to ASEAN countries, ASEAN also associate. And this Quad countries also reiterated that Quad members will be extending their support to ASEAN and its member states, which are the heart of the Indo-Pacific region. Okay. In fact, this Quad countries also welcomed September 2021 EU strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Okay, and also they have also stated that they will be also contributing for the development of Indo-Pacific region. Okay, and you see that China's artificial islands at South China Sea. Here the Guardian newspaper, and it has published that one, and you can see this one. Okay, so you are able to see this one, China's artificial islands at South China Sea.
No,
sir.
No.
We stopped at militarization of South China Sea.
From there it stopped.
Now it came, sir. You see. China's artificial islands at South China Sea.
Yes.
And you please see this picture. So how China has constructed the artificial islands at South China Sea, you can see here. And even it has established military establishment also, and all military networks have been established on this island, you can see here. So the Guardian newspaper, in fact, also published, and even you can see online also how it has claiming authority on the other hand, and also so developing artificial islands. It has developed this network in South China Sea. And you see China's maritime coast in the Indian Ocean also. And you please see here, and this is very important even for the students of world politics and international politics also. I hope you are able to see this one. Yes.
Yes.
And you see that, so our Indian Ocean is there, and you see the military, China's military establishment, how it has surrounded, in fact, our India also, you see that. So it is in fact on Sri Lanka also. So it is having kind of military base, okay, in Arabian Sea also, and you see Myanmar and all these places, it is establishing. Even in the Gulf of Aden there also, okay. You can see that how it is establishing. So the military presence, in fact, so the network there, and there is a concept of spring of wheels are there. So that in the next slide it will be coming. I will be working. So how it is developing. So the network in the even Indian Ocean and even with the neighboring countries also. And that's why India also has to develop its own policies in order to deal with China also. And that's why we have to strengthen our maritime security even in Indo-Pacific region also and Indian Ocean. And you see that, so the Quad countries, they have stated that no country should provide safe havens to terrorist activities also. So apart from these all issues, so they have decided that no country should promote terrorism or terrorist activities also. And they have given one joint statement related to terrorism. So Quad countries vehemently oppose the terrorist proxies and also discouraging the countries in the providing financial support, military support, and training the terrorist groups to launch attacks against other countries. So they have, in fact, even when Taliban captured the political power in Afghanistan also, so all these Quad countries also, they have so given statement that no country should use the Afghanistan territory for terrorists to carry terrorist activities. And towards, so they are having approach towards global issues also. How to so what is their Quad countries stand on various global issues also, whether it is dealing with human rights violations or developing diplomatic and economic policies and humanitarian cooperation, and also counter-terrorism policies towards Afghanistan. So when their political regime change took place in Afghanistan, so these all countries, they have developed a common strategy even to so what kind of strategy they have to adopt towards Afghanistan. And also why? Because they also want to establish and future stability in the region also. So further they have stated, I told you also, this territory should not be, Afghanistan territory should not be used for terrorist activities, whether in financing, training, and sheltering also. And also they should not be used for attacking or threatening any country also. Okay, so that's why they have designed a policy towards combating terrorism. Even Indian Express and the Hindu newspaper also extensively they have written on this. Okay. And also the Quad leaders reaffirmed that Afghan territory should not be used to threaten or attack any country, shelter or train terrorists. You can understand that. Okay. So that's why they have issued a joint statement related to terrorism also. And also they have stipulated that and Quad countries will support and they will support the Afghan nationals also if they are in crisis. Okay. So that's why, apart from these all issues also, in fact, on COVID-19, how to deal with COVID-19 vaccine also, they have COVID and vaccines. So they have extensively discussed and also decided to supply vaccines under the scheme of COVAX. For example, so India also played very vital role on this one, okay, and dealing with the COVID situation also. So in fact, so Biologically Limited Hyderabad, so it was chosen to supply the vaccines to even these Indo-Pacific countries also under the scheme of COVAX from October 2021. Under the scheme, so the vaccines have been supplied to the Indo-Pacific countries, even middle income countries, so those who are in need of that one. Okay. And see, according to this joint agreement related to supplying COVID vaccines, so Japan will be helping the region to purchase COVID-19 vaccines and US dollars 3.3 billion. And in this connection, Australia will be delivering US dollars 212 million. And also in this connection, Australia has allocated funds US dollars 219 million. Okay. So like this, even India also played very vital role to help these all Indo-Pacific countries also. Okay. And what?
Professor, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please, I mean, like within 5
Okay.
to 10
Yes. Okay. And there are like various policies towards Indo-Pacific region. In fact, it was kind of so it was extensive also, and terrorism also they have taken. So these decisions also, okay. And under this COVID, how to deal with COVID-19 situation also they have in fact discussed. And also they adopted, they have decided to develop Blue Dot Network and Belt Road Initiative to help the even the Indo-Pacific countries also, okay. So this all we have discussed in fact in that summit. They have focused on Indo-Pacific region and also India and US ties. Okay, so as part of this quadrilateral security dialogue also, in fact, India-US ties also they have strengthened. Okay, and you see that AUKUS and Quad is there. So many scholars, even in fact, JNU Professor Happyman Jacob, he is in the School of International Studies. So after this Quad summit, they have written after the establishment of AUKUS, what is the relevance of quadrilateral security dialogue? So now he is saying that quadrilateral security dialogue, it has to play a very dynamic role. So otherwise, AUKUS may dominate the quadrilateral security dialogue. Okay. So it has having a great significance for in fact India also, and in fact India is extending policy towards East Asian countries. Okay. It is called regional comprehensive economic partnership to establish trade relations with the rivals of China, so that they will have more influence or control on the region. And there are some limitations also, in fact, on part of India. Why? Because we cannot convert. India is not willing to convert. So quadrilateral security dialogue as a military alliance. So that is the limitation also. Once you convert the quadrilateral security dialogue as a military alliance, then it will be having serious repercussions. In fact, the China version will be different, and Russia will see quadrilateral security dialogue from different perspective. Why? Because we have to see our national security also. So China, I would like to give this China's perspective. Chinese foreign ministry, he has given a statement that China always believes that any regional cooperation mechanism should not target a third party or harm its interest. Seeking exclusive closed clicks against a third country runs against the trend of the times and aspirations of the country in the region. Okay, and it will not find no support. Like their version is different. Okay, but India's strategy is different. Okay, even on Russia's international affairs also they have given statement, but our Indian I would like to explain the India's Minister of External Affairs statement on quadrilateral security dialogue. Sri Anurag Srivastava has stated that India has always pursued an independent foreign policy based on its national interest, and India's relationship with each country is independent of its relations with third countries. And we hope that this is well understood and appreciated by all our partners. Okay, so like it is published even in the Hindu newspaper also. So like that. So what is the future of this quadrilateral security dialogue? So we have to devise various innovative policies. So then only it will be having the relevance. Okay. When they met at White House, it is the photo of them. Okay. And you can see that. And conclusion, I can say that since China is developing its military commercial network and a maritime base in the Indian Ocean, that in the form of string of fails, you can understand. So here, string of fails, okay, under the quadrilateral security dialogue, so it will be having much prominence, okay. And China sea lines communication have been extended from the Chinese mainland to the Port Sudan in the Horn of Africa. The sea lines also runs through maritime routes like Strait of Mandeb and Hormuz, Lombok Strait and Malacca. So in this connection, I would like to show you this one. Are you able to see this diagram? You see string of fails?
No, Professor. No, Professor.
Okay, now it will come 1 second. Now are you? I think you can see now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is there, and you see this is very important. and you see that, okay, and you can see that Indian naval base and China supported this one. So already it was like China supported. So how it is like establishing its a military network and a maritime presence, you can understand from here to here, and here also here, and you can understand this one. So this is very important. You see that in Indian Ocean there are many players are there, and we have to protect this one. Otherwise, so that's why India accordingly it has to develop its maritime strategy also. Okay, and Indian naval base you can see here. So it is there, but China, you see even that how it is developing network from here to here, and even Indo-Pacific region, even Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea here. Okay, and I think in this context, no, so that's why these all countries they have established this quadrilateral security dialogue. So in order to contain the aggressive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region. So thank you very much. In fact, there is a lot of discussion, and we can continue much discussion. So due to paucity of time, and I think I am stopping my PPT here. Thank you everyone. Now we can have discussion on this one, so that we have question and answer session.
Dear Professor.
Sir, please tell me, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I have two or three clarifications.
Sir.
First one is, in the beginning years, Australia slightly withdrew from the group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What may be the reasons? That is the first clarification I require. Second one is, these four countries are formed together. Actually, it appears your presentation is very good, and with all the visuals, they are very good and very clearly it is understandable for everybody. And these four countries coming together to stop the accession of the China in this region. Yes, but at the same time, these four countries are making a democratic effort to stop the accession. And it appears more of a formal meeting, because it appears they are not informal. All the visuals shows they are formal meeting with a proper agenda. So according to my view, these are formal meetings with some strategy and agenda.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Last question is,
sir,
will this lead to new Cold War between US and China? These are my I request you to clarify these three.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for your innovative questions. In fact, these questions are very pertinent and very important also. So even in fact, the internet global foreign policy scholars, even ambassadors, also there are many people they are working on this one, and many dimensions are there, approaches are there. So that's why this due to strategic reasons, these all Quad countries. So many times they have stated that it is not a military alliance; it is a kind of informal gathering. We are discussing like that. So why? Because once they declare it is a military alliance, it will be having serious repercussions. Yeah, even for our South Asian region and the global politics. As you told that, so once they declare it is a military alliance, so definitely it will lead to a new Cold War only, and it may create another tensions also. Okay, so that's why already, even in fact, Russia and China, they have termed and described the quadrilateral security dialogue as AC and NATO. Already they have stated. So that's why Indian External Affairs Minister also they have clarified. So India would like to maintain its strategic autonomy, and it will develop relations with other countries according to its national interest and priorities. And also stated, and it is not against the security interest of Russia. Okay, but obviously yes, there is a fact also that it would like to contain the aggressive behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region, and also South China Sea, Himalayan region. And you see, it is having border conflicts with all neighbor countries, and India also experienced that. Whether it is Doklam standoff or Galwan standoff, so it is very much witnessed. Okay, so that's why India also devising its foreign policy and developing relations even with the Quad countries and with the United States of America, so that they can contain the aggressive behavior. When in case of Galwan standoff, when the scenario reached very high level, the height of tensions between India and China. So then they had a kind of virtual, Indian External Affairs Minister and Chinese Foreign Minister. They went to Russia. Then Russia intervened and somehow negotiated the tension between India and China. So Russia is playing that kind of role also. So that's why it is advisable for India also to have very good relations with Russia also. Even though India is developing proximity and developing good relations with the United States of America, and recently importing defense equipments and signing many defense pacts, but India should not undermine its strategic partnership with Russia in the contemporary global world. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Very well presented.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, any other questions? All of you, please, you ask questions so that why? Because it is the kind of still, discussion is going on. Okay, so we cannot come to like any conclusion that this is the like final opinion and all. Still, the research is going on. Just scholars have started writing on that one. Like when AUKUS it was established, that JNU Professor Happyman Jacobs, he has written what is the relevance of quadrilateral security dialogue when Australia, UK, and the United States they have established this kind of alliance. So, what is the relevance of quadrilateral security dialogue? He has written an article in the Hindu newspaper after the quadrilateral security dialogue summit at United States. Okay, I think many students they have written the questions here. I will go through one by one. I think.
Can I read out for your convenience, Professor?
Yes. You please read out.
Yeah, Maria Ji is writing, what is the difference between the Quad and the Pacific Security Alliance? The Pacific Security Alliance is new only with UK, US, and Australia, and Biden announced before Quad meeting in September 2021.
Yes, it has announced. It is also a strategy. Why? Because since they have not described the term quadrilateral security dialogue as a military alliance, and AUKUS. So the United States and UK, Australia, they are part of that, so that it will play a military role. So they would like to describe it will play kind of security alliance or military alliance. Okay, and the quadrilateral security dialogue it will be as a kind of informal gathering and all. So due to strategic reasons, they are not terming or describing Quad as a quadrilateral security dialogue. Of course, as obviously like AUKUS, so it is a military alliance. So that's why scholars also they are debating. So what is the relevance of quadrilateral security dialogue? And also, like you have mentioned that before the Quad summit, so it has been established. Okay, even when that group was formed, so many newspapers, in fact, the television channels also they have telecasted news also, various perspectives are there and divergent views also are there. Okay, so we have to see that. See, the object of quadrilateral security dialogue is to contain the assertive behavior or the belligerent behavior of China in the Indo-Pacific region and also South China Sea. That is the main object of Quad. And AUKUS is having upwards, so it is having a different perspective. Even it will be giving submarines to even Australia and also Japan to contain the assertive behavior of China. So it is strategic. It is also important and it is also having its relevance. Okay, thank you. So any other questions are there? And so if you ask questions, I will clarify it.
No, Professor. As of now, there are no questions. Yeah.
So why? Because it is still debates are going on. Okay, and scholars are working on this one. Even some of the scholars also you may choose this topic for your research also. So you will get a lot of inputs also on this topic. Okay.
Yes, Professor. Yes, Professor. So I would like to thank.
Relevance.
Yes.
It has a relevance and it has a significance in the contemporary global politics also. Okay.
Yes, Professor. Yes. So I would, at the end of this lecture, I would like to thank Professor Chakala Bramhayya sir, Professor Ravindranath sir, who has actively participated in the discussion and has taken clarification on 2 to 3 questions from our speaker today. And apart from that, I would also like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor KVS Sharma sir, and our Registrar Sir Ashok Vajja sir, and our faculty members for their extended support for organizing this lecture. Thank you, Professor. Thanks a lot. And we would look forward to collaborate with you in future endeavors also.
Thank you, Dr. Vinay, and all of you for your. I would like to thank Center for World Affairs, so Maharashtra National Law University, so for giving me an opportunity to deliver lecture. Okay. In fact, students, I would like to thank your Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K.V.S. Sharma, sir, and also Dr. Ashok Warjeji, Registrar in charge, and Faculty Coordinator, Dr. Vinay. Also, student coordinators, Pranav and Aswin and Ketan, for so given an opportunity to present on this lecture. Okay. So Dr. Harish also joined from Bangalore, from St. Joseph College, and he is also a scholar on international politics. And Professor Manikunda sir is a professor of media studies at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and they also joined, and I would like to thank them also. So Dr. Harish, do you have any questions?
Harish has left, sir.
No, he is there. Still,
Yeah.
he is there. Okay. He was also he studied in JNU. Also, he studied in JNU. He is a scholar on international relations. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I think yes.
Thank you.
So any other queries are there? I think no queries have been written here.
No, sir. Not yet. Not yet.
It is a good topic. So I would like to tell you. So it is a very dynamic topic, and if anybody decided to do research on this topic, and you will get a lot of knowledge also, it will be very innovative topic in fact. So generally students think that foreign policy nothing but it is kind of political relations or bilateral relations, and nowadays it is attaining much significance even in political science discipline also. If you go to foreign countries like United States, even European countries, so many scholars and students they are doing research on global politics and these all developments. Okay. In fact, on Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, White House has published fact sheet on White House and Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. Students, you may go through that one also. White House, in Google you search it, White House on Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. They have published a detailed report. So that's why I have in my PPT also I have incorporated so aspects there. In fact, why? Because here the country's statements are important. So our analysis will be there, and also we have to see what they are speaking, how they are analyzing the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, how Russia is doing, how China's perspective. Okay, so that these all are very important. Okay.
Okay, Professor. Okay, Professor.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, students. Thank you.